What up, what up? We're gonna be reviewing Kodak Black's Painting Pictures Street album. Just came out today. Has some dope ass features on it. Future, Young Thug, Jeezy. That really blew my mind. Like, I haven't heard of him in fucking years, so I was surprised he was on there. And Boogie, I have not heard of. First off, check out this freaking album art. I think that's definitely like one of the dopest album arts or cover arts I've ever seen before. It has all sorts of titles from his songs and shit, catchphrases, all sorts of stuff. It has like the old version of himself being painted by the new version of himself. So I feel like that definitely has a lot of meaning behind it. He's got the triple crosses now, he only used to have the double. He's got all of his hits on there and everything. Probably definitely one of my favorite album arts for him. I also liked his very first one, Project Baby. That was a dope ass album cover. Let's jump right into this review. Kodak Black Painting Pictures. I feel like it definitely has a less radio mainstream vibe to it compared to his other albums, but I think that's what he was going for, especially with the name Painting Pictures. He definitely wanted to get that point across and let everyone know what's been going on with him. I listened to the album all the way through, and I did thoroughly enjoy pretty much each song. I know Heart of the Project's an institution. There were a few songs that I was just whatever towards, but like I said, this one I really thought was pretty solid all the way through. This album also had 17 tracks on it, so he's definitely been working on this for a cool minute. I think that's the most tracks he's ever dropped on a project before. So I was definitely surprised when I seen it had that many. Big ups to Kodak for that. I noticed he talks a lot about being stuck up in jail and how his girl fucked him over and all sorts of stuff in this album. So that's definitely been a crucial part of his life for sure. I'd say in almost every single song he brings that up at least once. Even though the album is really about storytelling, he definitely has a few bangers on there, no doubt. I think that track with A Boogie, the chorus, definitely has a lot of potential. It kind of reminds me of his track Too Many Years with PNB. So I think that's pretty rad that Kodak's reaching out to these people to get the best possible sound for his tracks that he can. Because I swear each feature literally fits perfectly on these tracks. It's ridiculous. Also talks a lot about his baby mama in his life, so that's definitely a huge part of it. Or at least I'm assuming that's his kid's mom. And it seems like she definitely screwed him over and has sent him to jail. So I believe the last time he was in jail, that was the reason why, because he had accused for false rape and all that stuff. He was sitting in a pen for a cool bit. Alright, so I'm just going to start off with the most popular track I think is going to be with Future, called Conscience. And honestly, I'm just going to be straight up, it's probably because Future's on it. I mean, it is what it is, so usually the features with the big names blow up the most in the mainstream community. That's just how it goes. Definitely has a nice jam to it, no doubt. Future's talking about his typical shit, popping mollies, popping perks, driving fancy cars, so, you know, nothing too special when it comes to Future's verse or chorus. But I think it's pretty cool on the track. Future and Kodak really relate, having to do with the streets. They talk about the streets taking their souls, and that's really been a huge part of their life, obviously. Kodak says something like he has more stories than an author or something like that, so definitely a dope-ass track, no doubt. It has a nice jam to it. I think that's going to be his most popular. I could be wrong, but I'm calling it. Definitely an all-around solid album. I would give it an 8 out of 10. I still think my favorite project of his is his very first one, Project Baby, just because he was so young and he had so much passion behind it, and it's like a masterpiece, man. So definitely go check out the album. You can really tell he poured out his heart and soul into it, gave it all he got, so I think it's pretty dope, and I think you guys will too. Let me know what you think of the review down below, and stay tuned. Peace.